From the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, it's time for Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl.
Hello and welcome to the Collins Aerospace Studio here at the Nordloff Center. I'm Greg Peterson, and we've got something a little different for you today. This is the Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl All-Star Face-Off for the year. So we have two teams, each comprised of players from each of our Elite 8 teams, now playing an exhibition match against each other. So we'll start with the team that decided that they were going to be called Team David, which has representatives from Winnebago, Keith Country Day, Belvedere North, and AFC. I believe Ethan has been elected captain. Let's meet you and your team.
Hi, I'm Ethan. I'm going to be captaining Team David. We are self-identified underdogs. On my left, I have Aiden, otherwise known as A-Dog. On my right, I have Mitch, otherwise known as M-Steez. And on my far right, I have Carson, otherwise known as The Stud.
Noted. And I can tell the viewers at home that when Team David picked their name, they turned to the other team and said, you guys should be Team Goliath. So Team Mayflower today has representatives from Auburn, from Dixon, from Morrison, and from Stockton. And it is going to be Nathan from Dixon that's the captain. So let's meet you guys.
I'm Nathan, captain of the Mayflowers. To my far right is Luke, to my near right is Kyle, and to my left is Blaine.
Welcome. So even though the team composition is wacky, even though this is just an exhibition game, the rules are the same. And that means that we start off the same way we always do with that buzzin' round brought to you by Rockford University. Everybody ready? Let's go. First question. What TV show depicted the 2003 death of Sarah at the start of the cordyceps outbreak and stars Pedro That is Nathan.
Last of Us.
The Last of Us is right. What fruit whose ordinary size cultivars include the Jaffa, Caracara, and Valencia? Ethan?
Oranges.
Oranges. What city, founded in 1610 and partly named after St. Francis of Assisi, is the oldest U.S. state Ethan?
Jamestown.
Incorrect. Sorry, I'll finish. The oldest U.S. state capital and is about 60 miles away from Albuquerque. That's Luke. And that time, I'm afraid, that's Santa Fe. He's the saint in question. What song by Doja Cat appears on the soundtrack to the 2022 biopic Elvis and interpolates a sample of Elvis's song Hound Dog? Ethan.
Streets.
Nope, sorry. Mayflower, you can buzz if you want to. But you don't want to. It's called Vegas. In what country was COVID response minister Chris Hipkins selected in January? Blaine.
New Zealand.
New Zealand, because he's prime minister now. Nice buzz. Charles Grandison Finney preached in New York's Burned Over district during the second of what? That is Carson.
Great Awakenings.
Second Great Awakening. Nice job. What 2020 RPG, whose expansion Phantom Liberty released in September? That's Nathan.
Cyberpunk.
Prompt.
2077.
Is right. Nice buzz there. What poem, whose first book depicts a figure representing holiness called the Red Cross Knight, was written, that is Carson.
Canterbury Tales.
Incorrect, sorry, so I'll finish. Was written for Elizabeth I by Edmund Spenser. That's time, that's the Fairy Queen. What country's myths include cucumber-loving, water-dwelling creatures called kappa? That's Nathan.
Japan.
Good speed there, that's right. William Calley was the only soldier convicted for his role in what? That is Carson.
My Lai Massacre.
He's the only one convicted for My Lai. Well done.
What story, which ends with the dead body of slave owner Peyton Farquhar swinging from side to side beneath the title structure, is by Ambrose Bierce? Carson.
Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge.
You got there. That's right. What character says more weight as he is crushed to Carson?
Giles Corey.
Great buzz from the Crucible. What military leader who inaugurated the White Terror by enacting martial law in 1949 governed Taiwan until 1970? That's Carson.
Chiang Kai-shek.
That's correct. What alliteratively named gemstone, noted for its striking blue color, was used in Ethan?
Sapphire.
Sorry, no. Was used in Blaine?
Lapis lazuli.
Nice buzz, yeah. Tutankhamun King Tut's funeral mask had that. What Italian scientist, who mysteriously burned to death in 1914, developed an intensity scale for earthquakes based on their observed... That's Carson.
Richter.
No, sorry. I have one more word to say, and it's effects. Blaine?
Torelli.
No, but he is Italian. This is Giuseppe Mercalli, and this is the first time I learned what happened to him as well. What sport, in which Michaela Schifrin set a record in 2023 for World Cup titles, has moguls and slalom? That is Ethan.
Skiing.
Skiing is correct, and that is the round. So Team David, despite the name, has an early lead with 70, and Team Mayflower, unrelatedly to the name, has 50. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a moment. And welcome back to our All-Star Face-Off, where we have representatives from each side of our bracket in our Elite Eight squaring off with each other. We're into the volleyball round now, but even though this is an exhibition, I still would like to thank our judge. Our judge is Coach Linda Green, a all-time great in the Illinois Scholastic Bowl community and accordingly a member of the Coaches Association's Hall of Fame. Thank you, Coach Green. We couldn't do this without you. Our volleyball, Our volleyball round, we've got teamwork questions. We've got Ethan and Nathan as the captains. The first question is going to be coming to Team Mayflower. Here we go. What organization, whose founders are known as Bill W. and Dr. Bob, originated the 12-step program to battle addiction?
AA.
Yes. David, what novel opens at the Admiral Benbow Inn and depicts a voyage on the ship Hispaniola undertaken by Jim Hawkins, who searches for hidden pirate
Treasure
loot?
Island.
Say again?
Treasure Island.
Yes. Mayflower, in July of 2022, what three-digit number was designated as the toll-free nationwide number for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline?
988.
That's right. David, in 2023, what state senator, Ben Sasse, resigned to lead the University of Florida, after which he was replaced by the former governor, Pete Ricketts?
What state? It's asking for a state. Nebraska. No. Nebraska.
In time and correct. Mayflower, what country was the first in Asia to host the Summer Olympics, has won the most gold medals in judo, and hosted the 1972 Winter Olympics in Sapporo? Say again?
Japan.
Is right. David, Nicholas Hawksmoor designed two Western towers for what Gothic church in England that contains the coronation chair?
Trinity Church.
No, it's Westminster Abbey. To Mayflower, what current state, which Andrew Jackson illegally invaded in 1817, was acquired by the U.S. in the Adams-O'Neese Treaty and led from St. Augustine?
Florida.
Yes, Florida's right. David, from what French port city did Operation Dynamo evacuate over 338,000 Allied soldiers from its beaches and harbor in 1940?
Dunkirk.
Yes. Mayflower, what compounds contrasted with aliphatic compounds have exceptional stability, include compounds such as benzene, and are named for their odors?
Esters.
Esters.
No, these are what aromatic compounds are. David, according to the central limit theorem, as sample size increases, the distribution of the sample mean tends toward what probability distribution?
Bell curve.
Prompt.
Standard deviation of bell curve. Standard deviation of bell curve.
No, a bell curve has a normal distribution or a Gaussian distribution. Mayflower, in what conflict, during which Prince Rupert of the Rhine fought at the Battle of Edgehill, did the new model army bring Oliver Cromwell to power?
English Civil War.
Yes. Team David, what Englishman wrote a short poem describing God's creation of Isaac Newton and satirized 18th century society in the mock epic The Rape of the Lock?
Swift.
Alexander Pope on that one. Team Mayflower, what city contains the natural spring of Clepsydra and the Erechtheum Temple, both of which are found alongside the Parthenon atop the Acropolis?
Athens.
Yes. And that is the round, and it has remained neck and neck. We now have Team Mayflower at 110, Team David at 100. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll see you again in a moment. Welcome back to what normally would be the Bergstrom bonus question, but because we have an all-star face-off going on here, thought it would be nice to take a moment to meet some of our players. So let's start, I guess, with Aiden. Aiden, I have in my notes that you're seeing Beyonce and Katy Perry this summer.
Yes.
Have you already seen both of them?
No, I am so excited.
Do you have a particular song from either that you are pretty much, setting your sights on?
I really enjoy Ya Ya by Beyonce.
Excellent. And then in related news, Carson, big Metallica fan, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Katy Perry song?
No, that's my. She did Party in the USA, right?
I'm going to say yes to that because we don't have points right now. And then over on the other side, Landon. Long line of rabbit farmers, I am told.
Yes.
What
3
kind of
generations.
rabbits do you guys raise?
Nowadays, we do Dutch. We have about 14 of them at the moment.
Ever done one of the Flemish giants?
No, but they're fun to see at shows.
Oh, absolutely. You see one of those and you go, that's not a rabbit-sized rabbit. And your teammate here who we didn't get to introduce, and that's one of the reasons also Landon and Violet, each of your teams have subbed out but stayed within the team. So Violet, big poetry and literature fan. Do you have a favorite poet?
I don't know. I read Edgar Allan Poe and Percy Shelley sometimes.
Very cool. Yeah, I got really into the romantics when I was a high schooler too. So we have our teams here. How do you guys feel about getting back into the quizzing? Sound good? Cool. Then we're going to take a quick commercial break and then do exactly that. We'll see you in a moment. And welcome back. It's time here in our All-Star Face-Off for the lightning round, which is brought to you, even in the All-Star Face-Off, it's powered by IBEW Nika. So Team David is going to have the first pick of our 3 lightning rounds here. And what they are is literary weapons, American things, and video game villains.
I'm feeling, but American things.
I kind of like American things.
American video game film.
Okay. I think we're going video game villains here.
Okay.
I gotta listen to the stud.
So, given the name of a video game villain, name the series in which they primarily appear. Answers need to come from Ethan. You've got a minute to get through the 10 of them. Team Mayflower, 30 seconds coming your way. And you're already clustering together. Amazing. Here we go. Ganondorf or Ganon.
Legend of Zelda.
Yes. Dr. Eggman, also called Dr. Robotnik.
Sonic.
Yes. Albert Wesker.
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
Yes. Gladys.
Portal.
Portal.
Yes. Sarah Kerrigan.
Pass.
Past.
Dr. Wily.
Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Yes. The Master Hand.
Smash Bros.
Smash Bros.
Yes. Shao Kahn.
Pass. Oh yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
Yes. Kefka Palazzo and Sephiroth.
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
Yes. Wallace Breen.
Half-Life.
Half-Life.
Yes. Sarah Kerrigan.
Mario.
Mario.
No.
I'm gonna have to thank the stud for all
So
those
he
answers.
said he was going to sweep it, and he didn't, but 9 right there. Well done. Team Mayflower, you have 30 entire seconds. Given the name of a single video game villain, name the series in which they primarily appear, and it is Sarah Kerrigan.
Kerrigan. That sounds maybe British. What is a video game?
Give me something.
Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed.
Sorry, no. You said she sounded maybe British. She actually sounds Terran or possibly Zerg. She's from StarCraft. So that is 90 points that way and none that way. And Team Mayflower, you're now going to have your own pick of literary weapons or American things.
Literary weapons?
This sounds good to me.
Let's go literary weapons.
Okay. Answer the following about weapons in literature and mythology. Here we go. The sword wielded by King Arthur.
Excalibur.
Yes. Thor's hammer.
Mjolnir.
Yes. The lumberjack of American folklore who carved the Grand Canyon with an axe.
Paul Bunyan.
Yes. Item that backfired on Voldemort, killing him.
Elder Rod. Elder Rod.
Say it again?
Elder Rod.
No.
Okay, guys.
Weapon wielded by both Shiva and Poseidon.
Trident.
Yes. Projectiles used by the Lone Ranger that can also kill werewolves.
Silver bullets.
Yes. The Greek courtier threatened by a sword held by a single strand of hair.
Damocles.
Yes. Percy Jackson's sword.
Riptide.
No. Shakespearean title character who cries, "Oh, happy dagger," before committing suicide.
Juliet. Yeah, Juliet.
Yeah. And truth-revealing sword that titles a 1977 fantasy novel by Terry Brooks.
Silmarillion.
Nope. And we are both out of time and out of questions. So that is 3 questions coming over Team David's way. Team Mayflower, 7 right there, real solid, but 3 rebounding. Again, answer the following about weapons in literature and mythology. First of all, item that backfired on Voldemort, killing him.
The Elder Wand.
Yes. Percy Jackson's sword.
Pass.
The truth-revealing sword that titles a 1977 fantasy novel by Terry Brooks.
Pass.
Percy Jackson's sword.
Anaculosos.
No. And the truth-revealing sword that titles a 1977 fantasy novel by Terry Brooks.
Starfish.
No. And that is both time and the end here. We've taken our shot. So Elder Wand, Mayflower, I think that was just a conferral thing that happens. But yeah, the Elder Wand was right. And then Percy Jackson's sword, so close but not close enough. Anaklusmos. And then the Terry Brooks novel is the Sword of Shannara. So a bit older there. So that is 70 and 10. So we have, going into our final round, we have a 1-question game because it is Team David 200, Team Mayflower 180. We'll see you in a moment. And welcome back. Now, before we get into tonight's final challenge, we have a score change to announce because the answer on Percy Jackson's sword of Riptide, the question was looking for the Greek Anaklusmos, which just translates to Riptide. But because I didn't specify that we need it in Greek, we're ruling that that Riptide answer was correct. No score change for Team David, but Team Mayflower up to 190 now. So I said it was a 1-question game. It's actually even closer than that. So the final challenge, 20-point buzzer questions, and it is brought to you by Mercy Health. We ready? Let's roll. What actor who played Data in 1985's The Goonies won an that is Carson.
Kwan?
Ke Kwan, yes. What 1598 proclamation, which allowed military safe havens in towns like La Rochelle, was issued by Henry IV and gave toleration to French? That's Nathan.
Edict of Nantes.
Yes. Nant or any pronunciation will work. What anion used in preserving meat is the conjugate base of nitrous that is Ethan.
Salt.
No.
Or sodium.
No, sorry. Is the conjugate base of nitrous acid and has the molecular formula NO2-. Nathan?
Nitrous.
No, this is nitrite. Next question. In what state did Democrat Mary Peltola win a... That is Blaine.
Alaska.
Well done, that's Alaska. In all 4 canonical Gospels, Jesus is raised in what town where he's later rejected in 3 of those Gospels? Luke?
Nazareth.
Is correct. What author portrayed a scholar who gives jewelry to Gretchen after making a deal with the demon Mephistopheles? Carson?
Gotha?
You picked the right one. That's Goethe's Faust, not someone else's version. In 1190, what German emperor drowned in the Salif River? Carson?
Barbarossa?
Well, prompt.
Frederick Barbarossa?
Yes. Well done. Tried to do a crusade and drowned. What substances whose efficacy can be reduced by poisoning them lower a reaction's activation energy? And Ethan?
Catalyst.
Yes. Epiphytes exhibit what form of symbiosis in which the guest benefits while the host is neither? Landon?
Parasite.
No, sorry. Well, the host is neither harmed nor helped. Ethan?
Commensalism.
Well done, yes. What Chinese dynasty sponsored the voyages of Zheng He? Nathan?
Ming.
Yes, great buzz there. On November 15th of 2022, the United Nations estimated that the global population had reached what milestone? Nathan?
8 billion.
Yes. What structures, such as the Midwest's Ogallala, are typically found? That is Blaine.
Aquifer.
Yes, aquifers. What semiconductor devices, which have bipolar? That is Nathan.
Transistors.
Well done, yes. What fictional town, whose residents include its mayor, Walter Vinci, and the doctor, Tertius Lydgate, is the title setting of a novel by George Eliot? Luke?
Middlemarch.
Middlemarch is correct. Arthur Evans discovered the writing system Linear A on what island that is Carson?
Crete.
Crete is correct, but that is time, and I believe you have fallen just short, Team David. 320 points, which is honestly the kind of scoring we expected in an all-star game. But Team Mayflower takes it with 350. Well done to all 8 schools that we saw. Well done to all 10 players that we saw. This has been a game absolutely worthy of the All-Star title. We'll be back to regular play. We'll see you next time.